just when it was getting feisty. Thank you for the extra time. I appreciate that. Game has worked me over already, and we've hardly had any fights. It's not the fights. The fights take it up a few levels, but I don't think I've even gotten a big taste of that yet. Had a warm-up. We've had a few warm-ups. So welcome back, everyone. Hellblade, Senua's sacrifice. We're after the god of illusion. We've made it a ways. Been through a few doors. Figured out at least part a portal system, a world state that changes depending on how you look and pass through certain portals in the environment.
The Northmen say that Odin and his brothers killed Ymir, and that the world of men was formed from his corpse. They made his bones into stone, and his flesh into earth, and his blood into the salt sea. They set his skull to be the bowl of the sky, with his brains for clouds. Odin and his brothers caught the sparks flying from Muspel and made them into stars. And to protect the new world from the giants, they used Ymir's great curving eyebrows as walls.
Chris Sun, thank you for the follow. Welcome. What? Huge brows, yo.
Do you know what it's like to leave everything behind? Your home, loved ones, to head deep into the wilds, perhaps never to return. Senua does. Because when darkness speaks, it changes everything. Turning home into a foreign land and loved ones into strangers. Exile makes sense when you realize that you were never really home in the first place.
Was in a game. Okay, just checking. Hey, Death King, long time. Doing. reminder, she's not Lara Croft. We can't just jump that gap. Glad to hear it. Must be nice. I could use an upgrade. Mind the ravens. Mind the ravens. There's too many of them. He's out there.
The song. Balravin's song. It's over here. It's over here.
Is that?
Is it there?
It's over there. No, it's here.
Is there?
There's two.
Over there. Is it there?
Listen,
that it?
focus,
Is that it?
It's magic. It's magic. This reminds her of somewhere.
the forest.
Where? Which forest? Forest in the wilds.
The wilds.
She left Deline. She went to the wilds a long time ago. Why did she go to the wilds?
She wanted to fight her own darkness. She thought she could beat her own darkness.
Did she beat her darkness?
No. It nearly killed her, but she tried.
Druth helped her.
Hey,
If
duckling.
it wasn't for Druth, she'd
She'd
be
be
dead.
dead. She can't beat her own darkness. She wanted to marry Dillian. She came to beat her own darkness and marry Dillian. But it didn't work.
She thought her curse would affect him.
She thought her curse would spread to him. She thought she'd bring the darkness to him too. She nearly died.
She thought the curse made her tainted.
Druth helped her.
On the Banya. EGIF. Happy Friday. Forgot to wish everyone a happy Friday. In hell! Literally. Okay, so take a look at that. You see the steel beam, or the cross beam? You see that cross beam? lost? Are you lost?
The ravens.
The ravens.
They've gone.
They've gone.
No.
Half of them have gone.
They've gone. Some are still there.
But where? Some are still there.
Well, Raven's helping.
No. He's not helping.
It's a trick.
Quiet.
Where have they gone?
There
Out
were
in the
fewer
wilds,
ravens.
in the cold winter woods.
Where have they gone?
She no longer felt fit for this world. She almost
I
gave in
couldn't
to the
tell.
darkness.
There were fewer ravens. Thank you, voices
She
in
remembered
my head.
Didion's words. She remembered her promise. She resolved to fight on and kill that which had become a part of her.
And to you, Tomoe, welcome back. But those are the same. Who?
Broke. The gate is open. Open.
There is no such thing as victory when it comes to the darkness. It's like it doesn't want to kill her. Yet, it will gnaw at her, biding its time. Only when she is at her weakest will it strike to kill. Will she find Dillion before her time comes?
Aye.
Overcome Valravan's final illusion to face him in his keep. I know you can do it, Senua. You have the sight.
We both see the darkness. We can fight it together.
help, I might beat it. These environmental puzzles are very cool. Drunk. Didn't seem to want to go up on those small rocks either,
Speak
but
to me, Druth.
maybe she will now.
Tell me a story.
Senua, listen. I will tell you the tale of a man called Findan. The Northmen captured Findan's sister, and his father sent him to pay for her release. But they took his gold, put him in chains, and held him for a day and a night without food or water. Then they released him. I don't know why. Upon his return, his father's enemies in Erin set fire to his home. His father burnt to death, and his brother was killed. But he escaped with sorrow in his heart. His father's enemies offered redress for his loss and invited him to a feast. It was at a hall near the sea. But when he went there, they betrayed him to the Northmen, who enslaved him and took him to hell. 6 years later, his slave masters landed on the shores of Orkney, burning all before them. And into that fire, Findan made his escape. What was Findan burnt away that day. But from the flames, a new man stepped forward, and Druth was born. Druth, the man that I am now. And though Findan never set eyes on his dear sister again, I, Druth, have found you, Senua.
I wish you could have seen my home before these dark times.
Interesting. Walk around this one. Where else? Oh, the beam. Jeez. Beam. That beam. much to look at. Chubby! No! No. No. Whew. Hey there. How you doing?
Broke. The gate is open. Open.
This darkness. I know it from the wilds. It's coming back for me.
I'm still here. Are you too? Where are we? I remember. It didn't end well in the wilds. It never does. You think you can overcome the darkness, make sense of it, and once relief settles in, it strikes out of nowhere, throwing you helplessly back into the maelstrom, drowning the mind in fear, deeper, deeper, dragging you down so far into the void that maybe this time there is no coming back. But there, in the darkness,
Senua,
she remembered what he told her.
hear me. Reach out to me. Senua, take my iron mirror. Look into it, for it is a window into the underworld. Within, you will see the face of the darkness that you fear. And if you focus, like I have taught you to, you will also see that as much as the darkness has you trapped within its veil, it too is trapped within yours. Focus. Focus! Focus!
I see you! I see you now! You led me to the wilds! You trapped me there!
But I can see you now. Woo! I know that second one's coming, but
But not this time!
The Mark of Valravan. One of the keys to the gate to Helheim. Hold it in your mind's eye.
With every battle, the darkness grows stronger. Every victory bringing her closer to defeat. Unfair, isn't it?
Corruption grows,
In those
even if
dark
you
winter
win.
nights in the wilds, there were times when she considered letting go. If it weren't for truth, a chance encounter in the wilds, she would not have heard his stories of the Northmen. And she would not have this chance to find Dillion's soul.
I'm coming. I still hear you.
Wow. Claire, thank you for the host. Welcome. Anyone who just got here, anybody I missed there in chat. I have been mesmerized. I've been locked in. Especially there when we came on. Boy, that was good. That was only 5 minutes or so. It felt a lot longer. Yeah, Hypnosoul, welcome. Nightmare on Elm Street fan and rang a few bells. I think that the Hypnosoul was, it was in the third movie, and then Freddy versus Jason had reappeared. Hider LOL. Thank you for the follow. Welcome aboard. I missed anyone. Welcome. So that's Wild Iceman for those who didn't know. The girl who was the model here, right? For Senua, this girl had never acted before. She's actually the video editor at the company and was a stand-in at the beginning of development, and they offered her the job. Wild is that? Yeah, some days, Hypnosoul, some days you get it. She always looks away from the camera, doesn't she? No, not always, but most of the time. She does not want to look at the camera. There's gotta be some significance to that. Jurgens. I saw the name in the opening credits. Melina Jurgens. That fool. She never looks at you either, yeah. You get to see her head on during cutscenes and at various moments, but when you have camera control, she doesn't want to look at the observer. Does she? It's a good fight. Again, the voices in her head came through. Okay. It was the door that we couldn't get through. We had to find another way in. Maybe we need to go out the other way. Okay. Did I do right to turn around and come back this way? Or did I get turned around when I did that? I want to make sure I'm not going off in this direction for no reason at all. I'm loving this. It's not going to be the longest game. I don't know what kind of pace I'm making if we're on track to finish this tomorrow. But it can't be much longer than that. Yeah, one of my first thoughts about this game, because I wasn't following it development, hadn't heard much, and when I heard people talking about this game, but the price hadn't been announced, and one of the first things that really stuck with me was that it was short. I don't know if their original intent was to price it the way they did in the end, or if that was a decision made later to promote healthy sales, but I think it was a smart one. They can prove they're onto something here. I think they're doing that. We'll see where they go with it, but I was a little skeptical when I heard it was so short. But as soon as I heard it was not going to be a full price title, it eased my mind. Everybody said I should pay more attention. It was easier to make your case. There are some exceptional 12, 15-hour games out there. The Last of Us, one of my favorite games. Short does not mean it isn't brilliant. Worth it. PC platform, you've noticed some strange frame drops. Nothing bigger game breaking. Me too. I've got the game on the settings it picked. I think was very high across the board. Okay, so we were backtracking here. You can still see all the symbols and how there's a version of this environment with fewer of them hung that we're in. If the experience is worthwhile, I'm on board. Oh, hey now. I suppose I could just drop off if I go next to the ladder. No? We're done with Valravan. I'm not sure if I'm moving in the right direction or the wrong direction, now that I seem to have backtracked. But we beat Valravan. At one of those points, Wombat, where don't really know where I'm going, so we're just going. Yeah, open-ended or never-ending games be very few far between. If I am going in the wrong direction, I mean, if I'm Please tell me if I shouldn't be backtracking like this. But Manny, we did get Valraven. You just got back. But I'm not sure where to go from here. Exploring and seeing what I can do to find progression in the environment to wherever. Still have plenty of games on floppy in the garage somewhere. Need to find your way back to the room. We can choose between. Oh, okay. Thank you. Good call. Nice man. Thank you. That's right. We had a choice, an initial choice between illusion and fire, and I chose illusion for the first one. Okay. We need to go back. There. That makes sense. I wasn't thinking of that we had made that choice and we had to go back to make the other. Don't have a great memory for how we got into this area, but we'll find it. Back that way. Dark Souls similar to this game. Interesting question. The short answer is no, but the longer answer is maybe in some ways. Dark Souls is similar to every game. Tastes like chicken, okay? The combat is not a copy of Dark Souls combat. But it wouldn't be entirely unfamiliar to Dark Souls players. Okay, here's what I want to do here. We went and switched this environment from one with more symbols to fewer symbols in order to progress. Let's switch it back to the one with more symbols. And whatever else has changed in the environment, maybe we'll find it and find our way back. Dark Souls has a lot of combat around every turn. And while it's a bit mysterious as to how you play it, learning to play it, and can be quite challenging, quite unforgiving in combat, and the death mechanism being unforgiving, it's handled so differently. So I would hesitate to really compare those games. I think there are some obvious similarities that don't really hold up. They seem obvious, but they don't really hold up. So if we can find any other portals, anything else we can go through to change the environment. I wish I could remember more about how we got here from the previous area. But we're exploring it once again. We can try opening these gates. I think they were locked.
Open it.
She has to.
Not from this side.
Okay, that's like Dark Souls. Minus the voices in your head, that's very Dark Souls. Oh look, a gate. But you can't open that gate. Not from this side, you can't. That's one of the similarities, I suppose. You need to pay a lot of attention to your environment. It's not... It's almost presented as a puzzle here. It is presented as a puzzle here. It's not presented as a puzzle in Dark Souls. But you better pay attention to your environment there, or you're going to miss things, places to go. Progression requires a great deal of attention. So does survival.
The Northmen say you must sacrifice in order to receive. They tell how the runes were revealed to Odin only in sacrifice. He hung himself from the world tree, and he stabbed himself with a spear, and he dedicated the sacrifice.
Message
to
coming in.
himself.
Patching it
For
through.
9 nights he hung on the tree without food or drink.
So welcome.
And at last, he saw the runes below him. He gave a cry and gathered them in his mind and learnt them. Then he fell from the tree.
Oh, escape. Hole in the escapees. They busted loose. South Park and Wolfenstein. I gotta make sure to keep those in the back burner of my mind for scheduling. Play both of those. What's the what South Park, is that end of October? Is that when that's coming out? Raven's here. Oh, dealt with him. Not dead now. Third week of October. We'll probably play it in November. So, that area over there is accessible. I'll be lost. Maybe over through those doors. I haven't gone that way since we came back into this area. Come on. You can jump down there. Do it. You have my permission to jump down there. Please. Pretty please. Please. Misbehave. Life would be boring if I had all of my sanity. Still got a little bit left. 3 hours in. How are you? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Really is. You've come in at a stuck spot. I'm a little stuck. We just made it past the boss, and I'm trying to figure out where to go from here. And I know where we need to end up. Thanks to Iceman, we need to get back to where we were given a choice of 2 doors. Okay, if I can blocked off the... Thinking maybe I need to get through those doors. We came back out of these doors, right? The boss was through there. Maybe we need to get back through there. I can't remember how we got into this area. At the moment, I can't seem to get... is good. Maybe this will send me off in that direction. Want a tip? Not quite yet, but thank you. Thank you for offering. Instead of just saying. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I don't like being stuck, but yeah, Manny, yeah, we're on our way back now to the fire god. Hopefully, this way. Or not. We might have come in this way. Drop down, perhaps. We're not getting back up. She's not much of a climber. How did the meeting with Valraven go? It was good. I almost, but did not die. Fail. I think I can do anything here. Watching you struggle through is fun. As long as you're having a good time. As long as I'm still having a good time. If I stop having a good time trying to find my way out of this, I'll ask for a tip. So 1 death, we're up to 3. Well, I fell off the railing before we even got to the intro fight. Fell off a balance beam. And then we were, I presume that first one, you were gonna go down at some point, no matter what. So 2 or 3, has there been 1 since then? Yeah, I'll tell you what, pen click, if you can, tiny, about something small like portal or door or ladder or I don't know, whatever comes out is good. Technically 2, since the other one during the first fight count. Yeah, maybe we should be keeping track. I feel like I've been over this map pretty good. There's just need to backtrack. There really shouldn't be anything to figure out. I was afraid of that. Not your exact wording, but the basic idea that, yeah, dude, there's no trick to it. Just go. I was afraid of that. No, it's okay. I guess it's what I needed to know. And there's that portal up there. Maybe we don't need to do any portaling back and forth. That portal just changed the number of symbols that were hanging. Helped with solving the puzzle to go forward. 12-hour gameplay. J 24. Well, let's go forward again just for a minute. So you can see maybe it comes back around, and when I turned around before, that was my error. I came in here, we had our fight, I went out the other side, and then I turned around and came back. And I was wondering if I was in error, if I had picked the wrong door to go out. I bet you I did. Gee, this takes us back. Something about it made me think it was,
When she was younger.
yeah, this has got to be right. Something about it made me think it was, I needed to go the other way. Not yet. Hey, Prestige.
Elusive. Shifting faces. After a while, she could see the faces everywhere. The trees. The mountains. Caves.
is that platform? Thought, oh, we're backtracking. Like there's still eyes in the stones, in the wood. Definitely going in the right direction now. First death shouldn't count. When we walked out on that
I wonder,
beam,
can you see the faces too?
I saw the eyes.
They're there. If you look for them.
Said faces. Correct. Prestige started today.
Mother. Senua, you have the sight. Just like I do. Once you can see into the underworld and all the souls within it will see you. Don't be afraid when they speak to you. I will always be here to guide you.
Did you see her? That was her mother, Galena. She was a priestess, a healer. She taught Senua to see the weave that binds the world together. And it was beautiful. It was a time before the darkness. But when it did come, it first came for her mother. Senua still sees her face from time to time, hidden in the world. Like she's still watching over her. She misses her so much.
So we had a choice of two doors, fire and illusion. It was illusion first. Finally making our way back. And when we do, I suppose we'll be going through the door. God of fire?
Ymir was a frost giant, a being of darkness. And all his sons and grandsons were dark after him. Of his daughters and granddaughters, some were monstrous, but others fair. But there was another who came from the ice. Buri. In shape, he was like a man, big and powerful. His son, Bor, took a fair giant to be his wife, and they had 3 sons. Odin was the eldest, and the Northmen hold him to be the foremost of the gods, the All-Father.
So, we heard that one before, right? It seems you can listen to them again. Didn't want to interrupt it. Don't even know if you can interrupt it once you start it, but... Or we can... Ooh. And out of nowhere... Oh! Oh! Ow!
another challenge.
There's another challenge.
Cert.
Hey, Rango. It does seem to. Prestige. Slowly. It's subtle. You can tell when you're taking damage. Actually, a bit like playing Witcher with no HUD. You know when you're taking damage. You usually know when you've taken too much damage. But the fights are, they're quite visceral. No doubt.
Surt, the fire giant has answered. He comes from a land older than mankind. And the Northmen call upon his flaming sword to raise their enemies to the ground. Find him, Senua, and spill his blood.
Sophiston, hello. So, in a couple minutes, we're going to take a break. I was going to take now. My mother's lurking here. She wants to see a little bit up close.
It's badly burnt all over.
I wish she could hear it. Can't hear it. I wish she had headphones. She could tap into this.
World. Like her, who spoke of his own darkness. The Northmen.
You've been watching a little bit. The audio is crafted to be heard up close, and Misbehave says hello, as Seven says hello to lurking moms everywhere. Sophiston, I'm enjoying it tremendously. Before we get too far into the game, Manny asks, may I say one thing about combat? It will actually just be 2 letters. Okay, Manny. 2 letters, huh? Bring it. Wombat says cheers. And Kimberly as well. We just finished a bit of a fight after some backtracking after a big fight. And we're about to go into an area. We're trying to get through. We're in hell. And we're trying to get through that door. But before we could, we had to challenge the god of illusion. Had to make our way there. And now we need to challenge the god of fire. You want Jay to parry? RB? Oh, you want me to block? Yeah, I don't know if there's actually a parry. I know there's a block. I have not played with that much in combat. I did get this far to look at it. RB is block. I'll play with it some more. And if there's a parry in there, that should make for some more fun combat. It's pretty fluid. Very visceral. It's very tense when it happens. But we're going to break in a couple minutes. But since I've got a lurking entropic mom, let's go a little further before we do. And just see what we might be in for here. Another carving. Is that her mother again? Perhaps. Take a look.
Senua. We each walk these lands, gazing towards different horizons. Some of us further than others. Your father cannot see what you see, but there is nothing wrong with seeing the world the way you do.
You're not crazy? Is that the gist? Nothing wrong with seeing the world the way you do. could probably hook something up for her. Maybe during the break, I'll pull out a Y splitter and an extension cord. Yeah, I've got the stuff. In fact, I'll tell you what. This looks like it's about to get good, so I'm going to torture you all and say that it is time. It is time for a halfway break. Let me take a break, and you know, if my mom wants to watch a little after we come back, then she'll be able to hear it. Can you imagine watching this with no sound? A game that is made to be heard a certain way. Let me get a couple songs queued up here. I'm going to go grab a snack too. I'm hungry. Be back. 1, 2. Okay. See you in a few minutes. Stay tuned.